Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Amplify. I'm Ellen Barton with White Knight Productions, and today I'm talking with Ken Okazaki. He is a video marketing expert coming to us all the way from Tokyo, Japan. Very excited to have you talking with us today, Ken.
Hey, thanks, Ellen. Thanks for having me on the show.
So my first questions are about all the different video platforms out there. You know, people know they need video marketing. They frequently don't know where to start, and it can be overwhelming. So when somebody's getting started, would you say it's important for them to focus on one platform, or what advice do you typically give people?
You got to figure out which platform your audience is on. And you don't have to kill everything else. But if it's distracting you, you absolutely must figure it out. Nail it. Figure out what is going to make your content look native on there. What is going to, be the gathering point for your community. And then once you have mastered that one platform, then expand. And that's the order you got to do it. So the answer is going to be different for everybody. It's not where do you want to be, or it's where is your audience? Where are your paying clients hanging out, or your potential paying clients?
Would you be able to give a recommendation for the ideal length of video should be on the different channels? What do you find resonates with people? We hear all these stories about people not having a long attention span.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking that. There's, it's a question that has probably 100 correct answers. So I'm just going to give my version of this. CNBC, they did a study, and they, I don't know why they spend their money on this, but it was interesting. They figured out that 69% of people, when they're using their phones, they're sitting on the toilet, like sitting, right? And I thought, well, that's really interesting. If 69% of people, and this is specifically Facebook, by the way, while they're on Facebook, they're in the toilet, then I should do some market research. I grabbed my phone, went to the nearest bathroom, pants around my ankles, phone in hand, and started scrolling through Facebook. So this is how I do market research, like really get into the mind of my audience. It's important. If 69% of my audience is doing exactly that, let's figure this out. I started scrolling. I saw a video, and it looked interesting, but had no headline. Had no idea who this guy was. I kept scrolling, and I realized, hey, this is something important going on here. If I need to get people to watch my video, I first got to get them to stop scrolling. If they don't know who I am yet, like if I'm trying to reach a new audience, I need a great headline to get them to stop scrolling. So that's number one, right? And I'm getting to number three, which is going to answer your question directly. Number two, another video came on, and it looked interesting. And this girl was talking about an environmental issue, but the speaker started blaring. I'm in a public restroom. There's someone on my right side, someone on my left, potentially. And I quickly skipped off of it. And there were no captions. So even if I muted it, I wouldn't have been able to continue consuming it. So the second thing I learned is if you don't put in the captions to your videos, you're losing. And here's a number directly from Facebook. 85% of your audience is watching videos without audio. So you're going to lose 85% of your audience right there. Now, here's the third one to answer your question directly. I came across the video. I loved it. And I think it was an educator talking about, the different modes of learning. And I started watching about 3 minutes of it. And then my eyes dropped down to the play bar, and I saw there's 42 minutes left. And I'm like, I don't have 42 minutes to sit here. Everybody's going to wonder where I am, right? So what did I do? I went and put it in saved for later. That magic folder that everybody does to suppress their guilt about not watching the thing that they know they should probably watch. The thing about that is, I'm going to guess that you and most of my audience don't even know where that folder is, much less ever go back and watch all the videos and save for later. That is a black hole, and you never want to get put in the saved for later folder. Avoid it at all costs. And that's been my motto. So I started experimenting. At what length do people actually get excited about something and then stick around to the end? And we've done over 4,800 videos, in the last couple of years. And the magic number is somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes. Simple, right? And here's what's really important about the 2 to 5 minutes is that this is not just guessing. We've done tons of market research. We've done eye tracking. And eye tracking supports everything that I've just told you. The first thing people look at when they're scrolling is a headline. 0.7 seconds, right? Second thing people look at is your face. Hopefully trying to listen to what you're saying. If there's no sound, they're going to look for captions. If there's no captions, they'll hover for about 1 second, and while they're deciding what to do. And then here's the last place they look before they make that final decision, the play bar. Their eyes go straight to the play bar. They see how much time do I have. And that's the decision maker on if they're going to continue watching your video. So this is really, really specifically important on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And I can't give you, the whole 2-hour dissertation on every platform, but I think this is going to cover a large part of our audience. And I think that information, if you just grab that one thing, is going to transform your game as far as getting more people to stop and watch your videos, provided you've got something important and interesting to share.
What would you say about quality versus quantity, and really the idea of engaging content for the right audience?
Yeah, that's a super good question. I think that we got to look at this in two broad categories. There's the type of videos that are paid media, where you need someone to take an action, download a resource, get on a call, or buy an item, right? Then there's the ones where you're trying to warm up an audience organically so that when the time comes, you can engage with them and they'll be more likely to KLT, trust you, and then make a purchasing decision. And I'm coming from a business perspective here. So on the one hand, if you're going for the paid media, then the ones that always do the best are the ones that look unpolished, like you shot it with your phone, and they've got a bit of humor in it. It's just that combination. I've just looked at tons of ads and been to conferences. Those ones just flat out work, and typically 15 seconds are the best converting videos. But I have a feeling you're talking more about the organic side of things, because maybe they're not ready to pay for media yet. Maybe their business is, below 100K a month. Then, you're just getting started, right? So in that arena, I could talk about anything about my lifestyle. The thing is, if people decide to work with me, the more they feel they know me, the more they are likely to trust me. So I just pick 3 things that I talk about. Number 1 is my business, right? What gear, what gadgets am I using, to run my business? Number 2, I talk about my fitness journey, right? It's just, I take some photos, I share that every now and then. And number 3, my pets. I love my iguana, and not so many people have iguanas. It's a little bit exotic. So it kind of like, oh, he's the iguana guy, right? Kind of sets me apart from all the dog and cat people. So because I focus on just those 3 things and don't bring in things like, oh, we're having a family reunion. Oh, this is me trying to learn a new pancake recipe. Oh, I bought a new pair of sneakers. I could go into every area, but limit it to 3 things, and don't put things that don't relate to you or your business.
What about this technology? These days, everybody has a great mostly everybody has a great camera right in their phone, in their hand. When is it appropriate for them to just do all of this on their own? Is it always appropriate? Or are there times when you would recommend getting professional help?
There's 3 factors you want to look at, right? There's speed, there's the premium look and feel, and then there's the investment, the price that you're willing to pay to get the results. If you're going for speed and low cost, then you're going to want to use your phone, because you can literally just pick that up, shoot, and spend no extra money other than what you've already bought your phone for, right? Now, what we're sacrificing on is it's not going to look like documentary or TV production level or any professional level. It's going to look like it's you with your phone, and that's very normal. Totally fine. Now, maybe you want to set up your status a bit more and people to regard you as a professional, as an authority. So you want to work on a bit more. So let's go for the professional look and low cost. What you want to do is you want to spend about 2 years and master the software, master the lighting techniques, master hardware, understand directing techniques, and then be able to set up a home studio or hire someone to come in part-time and shoot these videos of you. Now, you keep your costs low, but what we're sacrificing here is speed. Let's go the other way. And if you want to go for the really professional look and you want speed, but you also have a business that's already cranking up and you're willing to invest, then go for a team. Your job is to be leading your business, is to focus on what already got you to where you are, which is probably leading your team and building your business, right? Not learning an ancillary skill like videography, and hire professionals to come in to be able to set everything up, shoot it, and get out of there, and then let you focus on what you do best. A few days later or weeks or whatever your deal with them, the videos come back. Hopefully you're going to be wowed by the quality, and all you had to do was show up and speak.
You talk a lot about making money with video marketing and about putting the funnel in the video. Can you like just briefly explain what this is and why it's important?
I realized that if I were to create a way that people could just format their videos in such a way that the funnel is inside the video, instead of having to build the funnel first and put videos in, then I might actually get people to actually do this. So I created something called the video funnel, where the funnel is inside the video. There's not a single landing page, there's not a single website, there's nothing outside of the social media platform, and everything you use is 100% free. Shoot videos on your phone, learn how to write the titles that get people to stop scrolling so that you can get your video started and hook them in the 0.5 seconds you have. And then 3 seconds is the second decision making point. Introduce yourself, lead their anticipation, deliver dopamine to the bloodstream, altruistically ask for micro commitment, and then move on to something called the missing link. How can you offer the missing link that the viewer never knew they always needed, that is priceless to them in the moment and free for you to give? Then we shift down to the next stage, which is the smooth segue. How can we get people from passively watching to actively engaging on social media with you? And then we pivot to the selling point. And this all works on social media without any external platforms. And it's for people who don't love the tech, but they do want to get started with video and they do want to make money for their business.
I want to ask you about making videos that move people from that passive viewer to doing something active.
If you get 100 views and you get 50 people, 50% of your audience to engage with you, then I would put that as a gold standard metric. And that's what I shoot for. And every time I've hit that in the past, whether it was myself or my clients, I followed a simple pattern. All right. So you're going to want to write this down. Number one, ask altruistically. You're not asking them to help you get more likes or asking them to do something for themselves or even for you. What you're asking them to do is to do it for a higher purpose. Of course, this has to map to what you shared. That's really impactful and powerful. And if you did a good job earlier and injected dopamine into the bloodstream, this altruistic ask is going to leverage the amount of chemicals that is currently running through their brain that makes them more impressionable in the moment. We're going to leverage that and then one up it with altruism instead of everybody saying me, me, me these days, right? It's not even about you. It's not about them. It's about a higher purpose. And if you pull that off properly, you'll get tons of people engaging. Now, here is the second thing you want to do to get a high level of engagement is I mentioned earlier about the missing link, right? If you would like a free tutorial that's going to show you how to shoot video with your phone, and in less than 10 minutes, get that title on top, get the captions burned in and uploaded to your favorite social media platform in 3 minutes, free tutorial. If you want that, just type yes down below. I guarantee you, because I've run this ad many times, I'm going to get a very high level of engagement. The idea here is the aha moment has to create a gap between what they know is possible. I explain to them all the information and why it's important. And then I created a gap between what if you could do this on your phone in 3 minutes or less? Now they're just like, oh, here's what's possible. And here is what's like achievable now if I have this missing link. The missing link is what's going to get people there. It's not a lead magnet. It's way more engineered than that.
You're in Tokyo, you work with people all over the world. Are the principles of creating an effective campaign, a good campaign, are they different if you're working with clients in Tokyo or London or the US, or are those underlying principles always the same?
You know, that's tough. I'd say it's different. It's very different. Japan and the US are probably some of the most polar opposite cultures that you can find in the world. And the difference between social media behavior of somebody who grew up in Japan and someone who grew up in the States is so different that if you don't take that into account and you just work with the same frameworks and same ideas from one culture to another, you're going to flop. I think it's worth it for anybody who's penetrating a different market, a different culture, to figure out what makes these people tick. What kind of humor do they love? What kind of things are offensive to them? What kind of things are gonna get them to take one step closer to knowing, liking, and trusting you? And when you do this with video, there's hand gestures that some people are going to find offensive. Maybe video is not even the most appropriate medium for certain cultures. Maybe it's text. Japanese read a lot more than most other countries in the world. So it's a really big question, and all I gotta say is research your market, figure out what makes them tick, and use the knowledge you've already got, but be willing to adapt that into whatever culture you're going into.
Video marketing has changed so much in the past probably year, 5 years certainly. If you had a crystal ball and you could project forward 6 months, 12 months, 2 years down the road, what do you see happening? Do you see it becoming more prevalent, or what are you thinking?
Wow. I'm seeing that, everybody's jumping onto this platform style that TikTok has done. It was Musically, right? And then it became TikTok. Now Instagram has Reels, YouTube has YouTube Shorts. The thing is, on Facebook and Instagram, everything I put out is getting about 5% the amount of reach it did about 2 years ago. I put up a video, it got like 15 views after a day, and I was like, this is such a joke. But I knew the quality was good. So I took that same video, I stuck it up on Instagram Reels. In 2 hours, I got 1,700 views. And
Wow.
it's the exact same video, same content, same title. So look at what's going on. And I think that the vertical format is here to stay. I think that making everything into 15 to 30 second bite-sized clips is here to stay, at least for a while. And learning to grab people's attention on a whole different level when you're competing against 15-year-olds who are skateboarding or surfing or whatever crazy stunt they're doing, that's here to stay. And you got to realize that you're going to be sandwiched between these guys and figure out how to get people's attention.